Here it is, guys. Today is the day. The Redmi Note 8 and the Redmi Note 8 Pro, they are official. They have been launched, and here is all the information you need to know about these two phones. Redmi released all the information about these phones in the weeks leading up to today's event, but now we have the official features and we can compare that to a few other phones. And considering the prices of these phones, which I will get onto in a second, but let's first go through the specs of these phones. So the design on both of these phones is very similar. The Redmi Note 8 has a slightly bigger chin than the Redmi Note 8 Pro, and the Note 8 has the Redmi logo at the bottom, whereas the Note 8 Pro has such a small chin that they can't fit the logo there. The Redmi Note 8 comes in black, blue, and white, whereas the Redmi Note 8 Pro comes in green, white, and grey. They both have quad camera setups. The Redmi Note 8 has it on the left-hand side at the back, whereas the Redmi Note 8 Pro has it in the middle. The Redmi Note 8 Pro also has the fingerprint sensor in the camera array in the middle, whereas on the Redmi Note 8, it is just in the middle of the phone. Something that we found out today, and I'm really pleased about, is the battery charging specs on both of these phones. The Note 8 coming with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, the Note 8 Pro with a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. But the great thing about both of these phones is they both support 18-watt fast charging, and both phones come with an 18-watt charging brick in the box. Good move, Redmi. The Snapdragon 665 isn't an upgraded version of the 660. It's a slightly different chipset. It will be fine for your daily needs, although it is not the most powerful chipset. The MediaTek chipset was compared by Redmi themselves to the Snapdragon 710, the Snapdragon 712, and the Kirin 810 processor. It beat both the Snapdragon chipsets in Antutu, but it was beaten by the Kirin 810 processor. I've used Kirin 810 processor phones, most notably the Honor 9X and 9X Pro. That chipset by Huawei is really powerful. It is a super powerful chipset, and the starting price of the Honor 9X is really low too. We'll compare those in a second to the Note 8 series. Both of these phones have exactly the same camera setup, apart from the main sensor in both. Redmi Note 8 Pro has the brand new 64 megapixel Samsung sensor. Wait for the camera test on the channel, subscribe if you want to see that. Because the Note 8 Pro uses the MediaTek chipset, they can give us some options that the Snapdragon 665 can't. Most notably, 960 frames a second slow-mo. Redmi themselves compared the Note 8 Pro to the Honor 9X. Yes, it has a much more functional camera than the Honor 9X. But if you compare it to the Honor 9X Pro, the 9X Pro gives you a lot of the same functionality. However, the 9X Pro is pretty expensive. The Redmi Note 8 coming at 999 RMB. They kept it under 1,000 RMB for that one. 4 gigabytes and 64 gigabytes of storage. Really glad they kept it under 999. A very decent phone overall. And for the price, I think comparatively with other phones, it's about on par. How about the Redmi Note 8 Pro? 6 plus 128 starting at $13.99. Great price for that one. That is cheaper than the Honor 9X. Didn't expect anything less from Redmi. It is cheaper than the Honor 9X, although not massively cheaper. It's in the same ballpark. What you get for that price is a phone with slightly more camera functions, but at the end of the day, the Honor 9X with that Kirin 810 processor is a more powerful gaming phone. So Redmi have done it again. They've given us a ton of specs and a really good setup for a really good price. If you want to see more on the Redmi Note 8 and Note 8 Pro, subscribe to the channel. I'll be unboxing them when I can and testing them against other phones and doing camera tests and gaming tests. So the Redmi Note 8's main competitor for me is the Realme 5. You can compare those two phones. And the Redmi Note 8 Pro, Redmi themselves have compared this time and time again to the Honor 9X. Now, I told you guys about the Realme Q series, and this is coming really soon on the 5th of September. And I was hoping for a new flagship killer from Realme. There were rumors about a Snapdragon 855 phone in that series, but it's so confusing that they've just released the Realme 5, the Realme 5 Pro, the Realme XT, and now this Q series. Well, it looks like the Q series is actually a rename or a rebrand of the phones that have already been released, the 5, the 5 Pro, and the XT. Although apparently there is a fourth phone, and that one we still don't know. All I want is a Redmi K20 Pro rival. I think Realme are the perfect brand to set up a flagship killer type device, and I really want to see one from them. And thanks to Realme for clearing up this situation on Twitter today. But for now, it's a bit of a disappointment. I thought the Q series was going to give us something new, but it looks to be a China mainland only rebranding of the phones that have just been released in the Realme lineup. All the spotlight today has been on the Redmi Note series, but have a look at this new phone coming from Honor. Honor 20S. It's a much cheaper version of the Honor flagship line. A triple camera with 20-watt fast charging. That sounds really good and almost sounds better than the Honor 9X, which Redmi have been comparing their new phones to. I'm pretty sure this one will not see the light of day outside of China, but that phone with the specs goes toe to toe with the Redmi Note 8 Pro and gives a rival to that phone. That's it for now, but I will see you in the next one.